Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Shaw here. Wanted to make a quick video on assignment 10.04 for geometry semester 2. This is an assignment that a lot of kids have trouble with, so I just want to make sure that you guys are good to go. So let's go ahead. I'm not going to give you the answers here, but I kind of want to just talk it out and I kind of show you how to set up each of the problems. So for number 1, it says, what is the volume in cubic inches of the prism? So for a rectangular prism, the volume formula is really easy. It's just length times width times height. So quite literally, you just plug all of these numbers in. Volume equals 8 times 5 times 3. And then, work that out, and then you're done. That's your answer, okay? And it'll be your answer. Your answer will be in inches cubed, but you don't need to put that into Canvas. So that's it for number 1. Number 2 is a little bit more difficult. For a triangular prism like this, the volume is the area of the base. That's what this big B means. Area of the base. And then you multiply by the height. So we need to find the height, or the area of this triangle, and then multiply it by 9. The hard part is we need to find the height of the triangle, and in order to do that, we're going to have to use Pythagorean theorem. So this is the formula that we're going to use for the area of the base, and this is the number that we're looking for. We don't know the h. The base will be 3, but we just need to figure out kind of how to go from there. So I'm going to draw this out a little bigger for you so you guys can see it. So this is my triangle here. Okay, this is the number I'm looking for. I'm looking for the height. It's going to be a right triangle because I made it that way. This is the hypotenuse here is going to be 3. And then this whole side is 3. But again, I need to use the Pythagorean theorem on this right triangle. So that means that since I cut it in half, that this side is going to be 1.5. So let's go ahead and do it. So then we're going to do... I'll use this as my A value, the H will be my B value, and then the hypotenuse is 3. That'll be my C value. So it'll be 1.5 squared plus H squared equals 3 squared. Okay, so 1.5 squared, I believe that's 2.25. Let's go ahead and grab a calculator out just to make sure. So 1.5 squared, 2.25. Look at that. Nice job, Mr. Shaw. Okay, so this one's going to be 2.25 plus h squared equals 3 squared is 9. Subtract 2.25 from both sides. Oops, my bad. So that cancels, then you're left with h squared equals, should be 6.75. And then you take the square root of both sides to solve it. And your h is going to be whatever the square root of 6.75 is. So let's do that. So it looks like 2.59. We can just go, how about we just do 2.6 to make it easier? Height is 2.6 will be fine. All right, so now we know the height, we know the base, and now we can plug it into this formula here to find the area of the base. So let's do that. So it's going to be 1/2. The base is 3, and the height is 2.6. And so let's just multiply this out. So now for my purposes here, I'm just going to leave this big number here just so we get the exact answer. So this will be, let me move this actually so I can see it. Okay, so we're going to do this number times 3 and then times 1/2. So the area of the base is about 3.89. We can probably just say 3.9 to make it easier. And that will be in square feet. But again, this is not the final number. We found this value. So that's what 3.9 is. And now we need to multiply it by the height, which is 9. So this is going to be, now I'm going to do the volume work over here. So volume equals 3.9 times 9, and that should get you your answer. Okay, like I said, not giving you the answer, but I worked through pretty much the whole problem for you, so you guys should be pretty good there. Okay, let's move on to number 3. Number 3 is a lot simpler than number 2. So this one is really just straightforward here. Again, volume of a cylinder is V equals pi r squared times height. So we've got our radius here is 9. We've got our height is 7. Let's do it. So literally your problem is just going to look like this. Pi times 9 squared times 7. And then I believe that they have you go ahead and work that out. I think that you just literally multiply that out. So 9 squared is 81, multiply that by 7, and then multiply that by pi. I'm going to double check that real quick. Yeah, so it says right here in the problem, round it to the nearest cubic inch. Okay, so whatever that is, just round it up or down. You don't want to have a decimal in your answer, and that should be good to go. All right, number 4. Moving right along here. So this one's a little different because this one gives you, it gives you the volume. So it says, what is X if the volume of the cylinder is 768 pi cubic centimeters? Okay, so in this case, we have, they give us the volume. They give us the diameter. You got to be careful here because you see it's the whole circle is 8 centimeters. And then so that means that the radius is going to be 4 centimeters. And that's what we're going to use here. And then the H is the value that we're looking for. So let's go ahead and let's plug this in. So 768 pi equals pi times 4 squared times X. So this one is really, it's really actually pretty simple when you guys get down to it. So 4 squared is 16. You get 768 pi equals 16 pi times X. Again, now we just need to solve for X, so you divide both sides by 16 pi. The pi's are going to cancel. Everything cancels over here. And then whatever 768 divided by 16 is, that is your answer. Okay? Last one, number 5. Let's do it. So this one's kind of confusing because it has 2 separate shapes, and so you really need to treat them separately. So what I did is I have the volume formula of the cube here, which is just length times width times height. And then I have the volume of this cylinder. It's actually a half cylinder, so that's why you see this half here, which is pi r squared times height. So the volume of the cube is actually really simple because what you do, and I guess I'll split it into 2 here. So over here, the volume of the cube is going to be, like I said, length times width times height. And then you got all that right here. So V equals 11 times 6 times 12. Okay, and whatever that is, okay, that's going to be the first part of your volume. And you're going to add that to the second part of your volume, which we're going to find now. So volume of the cylinder, again, it's a half cylinder. So you're going to do 1/2, I'll just write it out again, 1/2 pi r squared times height. So V equals 1/2 pi. Okay, right here, we need to figure out the radius. So this is kind of not really confusing. It's just you have to kind of figure it out. If this whole part right here, from this to this, is 17 inches, and then from here to here is 11 inches, in order to find what the radius is, you just subtract them. So 17 minus 11, that means that my radius here is 6 inches. So 6 squared times the height. Okay, so now you got to be careful. What is the height of this cylinder? So you see the height would be this value right here. And if I go all the way down, they actually give us that value right here. It's going to be the same since this is just a cube. So 6 inches is going to be my height for my cylinder, or my half cylinder. And that's it. So now you just do, okay, so like 1/2 pi 6 squared it'll be, again, half of 6 is 3. So it'll be 6 squared is 36. So 36 times 3 times pi. Okay, so that's going to be 108 pi, and it looks like, again, this one wants the nearest cubic inch. So multiply 108, 108, yes, 108 times pi, and then add that over here to this value, and you're good to go. Okay, it's easy, see? Anyway, guys, I appreciate your time. If you need me, let me know. Otherwise, I hope this helped. See ya.